When I woke up, the sun was beaming through the shade next to my bed. I had no idea what time it was, but I knew without getting up that Joey was gone. He had to drive back early this morning. I hated myself for not setting an alarm and for not being awake when he left. I rolled away from the stiff parts of the sheet that were under me and bawled softly into the closest pillow. I could smell him in the cloth, and it made me cry harder. I had class at 3 today and tossed around the idea of blowing it off. I can't go to class. I'm not emotionally stable, I thought. I got up to find my phone and see if Joey had called or texted me. I wasn't too familiar with the layout of my new apartment yet, so I walked right into the closet thinking it was the bathroom. I went to the kitchen to get some water, and on the gray granite countertop, there was a stack of items waiting for me. I looked at my phone first. Nothing. I unfolded the utility stool leaning against the wall and sat at the bar top. There was a ring with 2 keys on it, a silver one and a smaller bronze-colored one. Underneath that, there was a dark blue, overstuffed envelope. I gently tugged out the papers. I saw the leasing agreement for the apartment, some of Joey's military documents, and the paperwork for the security system, which Joey had apparently set before he left. There was also a debit card with my name on it, from Joey's bank. 2 purple orchids sat in glass vases side by side, and resting in front of them was a picture of us. Next to the picture was a piece of notebook paper folded in half that read,
"Didn't want to wake you. I love you. Joey."
I took in a deep breath, held it, and reminded myself that he only had 2 weeks left of training. Then he'd be back in my arms. I grabbed my cell off the charger, which Joey had plugged up for me, and went back to the bedroom. I fell backwards onto the bed and made a note in my phone to buy a calendar so that I could mark the days until Joey came home. I Googled how long it would take me to walk to Virginia. Too long. My stomach rumbled, but I didn't want to think about food. All I could think about was my man. I set my alarm for 2 o'clock and went back to sleep, holding one of Joey's t-shirts. After what felt like only minutes of sleep, I popped up to the sound of my phone alarm and got straight into the shower. When I got out, I dried my body gently because I was very sore everywhere and put on Joey's housecoat. I knew I didn't have time to blow dry and straighten my hair, so I combed my fingers gently through my sopping curls and applied several handfuls of mousse. I wiped the dew off the mirror so that I could see myself. The runoff mascara leaking from my under eyes made me look feral. The plan was to apply minimal makeup, but I noticed 2 bright red, silver dollar-sized hickeys on my neck. They stood out vividly against my olive-colored skin and chestnut-brown eyes. Thankfully, my hair was long enough to cover them. I hurriedly slapped some concealer on the marks, pulled a sundress over my head, and walked out the door. It was a fabulous Florida day today, with the temperatures creeping into the low 80s. Glad I didn't put on jeans, I thought as I walked briskly to class. I cut through the pool, and the deck was swarmed with occupants. A group of dudes hollered towards me, but I just shifted my book bag on my shoulder, avoided eye contact, and ignored them. Astonishingly, I got to class 5 minutes early. I pulled out my textbook and notes to go over what we had previously learned. My cell buzzed just as the lecture began, and I saw it was a text from Joey letting me know he made it back and that he'd call me later. I was typically a pretty vocal participant in the class, but today it just seemed boring. It must have been that my mind was elsewhere, because my heart was definitely miles away. My first night alone in the apartment was, by far, the hardest. I'd never been by myself before, and I was missing my mom and sister more than ever. I made myself some dinner. While I was eating, I opened my laptop to see what assignments had been uploaded for the week. When it started up, I got a notification that my photo album was full. I clicked the blinking icon intending to delete some old pictures and make space for homework, but I couldn't. Scrolling through, I saw new videos that Joey made of himself before he left. The first one played, and I could see myself sleeping in the background. It was a 15-second clip of Joey just talking. He was telling me how much he was going to miss me while he combed his fingers through my hair as I slept, and that the bank card in the envelope had $4,000 on it. He made sure to mention that my PIN was 0224, which stood for today, tomorrow, forever. I watched another video holding the laptop a bit closer now and missed him terribly. The next video he made was for me to watch whenever I was feeling lonely. He was telling me that I wasn't allowed to be sad and not to cry because he would be home as soon as he could. The third video was him giving me a pep talk about doing my homework and keeping up with my assignments. My attempts to go to sleep tonight were denied by a tenant in a nearby apartment playing some kind of wind instrument. As soothing as it was, by 2 in the morning, I just wanted to sleep. I drifted off and woke up again several times in the early morning hours. I got up the first time because I didn't remember if I set the alarm, and as soon as I got comfortable again, I had to pee. The third time, I swore I heard a noise in the kitchen, but I was too afraid to get up. I flung the covers over my head and knocked off. When I opened my eyes, I could see the sunlight from underneath the covers. Something about the daytime made everything seem less scary. I didn't have class today, so I called Hannah, and she answered on the second ring. Hey, do you want to come over to my house?
Wow, that sounds so weird.
I know, right? I laughed impulsively. My house.
I have some stuff to do later, but if you want, I can come by now and check out your new digs.
Okay, I'll text you the address, I said before hanging up excitedly. It wasn't even 15 minutes later when Hannah called me back.
Hey, Hales, I just pulled into your complex. You didn't send me the door number?
I know, and for good reason. I don't want Mom to have it. The last thing I need is her showing up and trying to drag me back home.
Well, Miss Mysterious, where do I go?
She asked impatiently. Follow the road all the way around to the back, and I'll be waiting outside for you. Hannah parked and jumped out to give me a hug. I led her up the 3 flights of stairs, and when we got to my door, I stopped dramatically. I looked hard at my sister's face, and I realized that we really could have passed for twins. We had the same body type and practically the same face. The only difference was Hannah kept her hair shoulder length and had hazel, greenish, honey-colored eyes, which she got from our mother. I had more mahogany cinnamon brown eyes that I must have gotten from our other parent.
Girl, what is your deal?
Welcome to the Hunter's residence, I said, smiling manically.
Something's really wrong with you.
Don't be like that big sister. You are always welcome at Hunter House.
Right, so should I be referring to you as Mrs. Hunter?
If you'd like, though it isn't official yet. I opened the door to a very empty apartment, and my sister's eyes widened. The apartment was bare, but at least it was clean.
Where's the furniture? Where's the sofa?
Well, I don't have one yet, but I will get one soon, I promised.
I'm not hungry. Don't suppose you have any food, either?
Yes, in fact I do. I made dinner last night, and there's some leftovers in the fridge. Poor Hannah couldn't boil water in the microwave. The cooking gene for sure skipped her.
This is great, Hales. I'm so happy for you. Where's Joe?
He left yesterday. He had to go back, I said with a pouty lip.
Yesterday? So you were here last night all by yourself?
She asked, seeming genuinely concerned. Yep.
Why didn't you just come home?
I can't. I made a dramatic exit, and I'm not talking to Mom right now. Did you know that she was the one who convinced Joey to join the Army? He would be here right now if it weren't for that.
Haley Nicole Howard, don't you dare say anything bad about Mom. You know, somewhere deep down that she was only trying to do what she thinks is best for you.
Hannah Marie Howard, you'd better pick a team.
I can neither confirm nor deny my feelings on said alleged disagreements. I am a neutral party and wish to remain so until more evidence has been found.
You learned that in law school, counselor?
Yeah, something like that. You know I love you, and so does Mom. She's sad you're not answering her calls.
It's only been 3 days. I need at least a week.
Whatever you say, but just remember, Mom is the only one who's always been there for us, no matter what.
I know. I'll call her tomorrow. Besides, I need to get more clothes. You want to go furniture shopping with me sometime? You have a car and I have a credit card.
Let's go now. I'll be Joanna and you can be Chip.
Hannah said giggly.